We are live now, so we are recording and on aired. Doing live show is doing. I'm gonna go ahead and copy the you. I think it'll stop disappearing every time I try to click on it. I'm gonna copy the link and put it up on my Facebook right now, so all of you lovely people can join us if you haven't already, which is understandable because you know. Oh, great! It doesn't give it any kind of title either. Oh, that's great. Well done stuff you got there. Edit posts. Embedding does not actually show any kind of YouTube title, which is crap. All
Who
right,
knows?
hold on a second.
I'll be
While I
right
get
back.
our live show is live. All right.
Sweet. Finally got this crap working.
Yeah, it was a really complicated matter of restarting my computer. And we are good because we're posted live. All right, guys. Today we're talking about our favorite Japanese games that we play, and they can be any kind of genre. It
Is that what we're
doesn't
talking
matter.
about
It
today?
can be RPG, action, FPS, strategy, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, a game that only has Japanese in it. It can be a game that was made in Japan, but it's obviously popular in America, which can be some of the first Silent Hill games. A little bit of everything. But first, before we even begin that topic, why don't we just talk a little bit about what games are you playing right now? And it doesn't have to be Japanese, it can be any kind of game. What games are you guys currently playing? Right now, I myself, I am playing, what am I playing? I have it up here on my computer, so let's go ahead and bring it up. Oh, I just got Divinity Original Sin.
Oh,
I've
that's
been
gay. That
playing
game's great.
Yeah, I played Only If, which is a free downloadable game that's very poorly programmed and pathetic to say the least. I played Five Nights at Freddy's, and I recently downloaded Far Cry 3. So, of all those games, I'd have to say um, Five Nights at Freddy's has been my favorite so far. Very creepy. I don't know what you'd call that. Like, it's not survival horror. It's horror. It's I don't know, like timing and observation. So, but it's a very scary game. I highly recommend it. To the left of me is Rich, so I'll let him go ahead and do. What are you playing right now, Rich?
Oh, I'm actually playing something right now. I'm playing Minecraft. I'm using the Feed the Beast mod pack, which makes Minecraft extremely fun to play, especially if you've been playing for like so many damn years that it just started to get boring. It really spices up your love life with Minecraft. And I've also been working on a top secret hush hush video game project. So more of that later on.
Oh, we're going to talk about that today?
Oh no, that'll be a later day. I'm just saying I'm working on a top secret hush hush video game project.
All right, we won't say anything at all. We'll just say that you will be excited when you play it. Next up, Kyle. What are you playing right now?
I just got Destiny for the PS4. And I've been playing on my PC The Sims 4. I think that's about it. Those are the only two games I've really been playing as of late.
All right, awesome. All right, who do you guys got? You got Jared on the screen next?
What's up, guys? Well, the only game I've really been playing recently was the Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, and I'm kind of excited for the Revolution that just came out, or is going to be coming out in about 4 days. So that's really what I'm doing right now. No other games.
Okay. Bjorn up next.
I'm playing Dragon Quest IV. Here's my camera for the NES or Famicom, as it's called here in Japan. And I found a box for like a couple hundred yen with like tons and tons of Famicom games. Made
Now,
me
did you
happy.
buy one of those Famicoms from the Pilot Super Potato?
No, that's a Super Famicom. I'm
Oh,
thinking
that's the
about
Super
buying one
Famicom.
of those, but I found like a third-party Famicom for like 500 yen, so I was happy.
Oh, right on.
But yeah, Dragon Quest IV. I have no idea what's going on because he's using like kanji after kanji after
Well, not
kanji.
only that, like it's using kanji, but it's also using. So what's really hard is it uses old Japanese words on top of
Yeah,
being in Japanese. So
like
imagine like whatever
torch.
the old word is for torch. That's what they're using for the word in the Japanese game. So it's really hard to translate.
Or like a chest or it's just stuff like that, and you're just what is
Yeah, like in
this?
Japanese, a treasure chest would be takaramono, but like they're using an older word, like I don't even like an Edo era Japanese word for treasure. So it's like stuff I don't even know when I see it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, so sitting here playing a game, you're like, okay, I need to go to Google Translate. I typed it in, the word doesn't even exist in Google Translate.
Yeah.
What? What is this shit?
Google Translate's not even real, man.
I know, it's Skynet.
Skynet. Fucking
Yeah,
hell,
man.
man.
What are you playing right now?
I got quite a few different games going on. Nothing new though. Absolutely nothing new. I've been playing the shit out of Hotline Miami
Oh,
and what else? I just got a PS Vita from my buddy, so I've been playing Hotline Miami, the damn Uncharted, and I just picked up an old copy of Harvest Moon 64, and I've been playing that on the 64 quite a bit. Other than that,
Did you
Yeah,
end up buying Akiba Strip?
no,
You asked
no,
about
not
it.
yet. I will. I'm gonna beat a couple things first before I buy that. Or else I'm just gonna have too many. I'm gonna be juggling like 6 or 7 games.
That's in
Dude.
fact what she said.
Random fact, I have mayonnaise.
Why do you have mayonnaise?
Because I had it on my food last night.
Cupid.
Fucking pre-dinner mayonnaise.
Fucking you gotta have mayonnaise on your takoyaki.
Fucking look at you. You don't even have a beard right now.
I know, man.
Lame.
All right, so let's get into some of our favorite Japan-based games, and once again, let me just reiterate, I don't mean that they have to be completely in Japanese, I just mean that they come from Japanese companies, makers, creators, video game designers, etc. All
What's
right?
Japan?
What is Japan? That is a very existential question. So I would say one of my favorite series, and this is probably a series a few of us can talk about from Japan. That's a very, very Japanese series. Is the Yakuza series.
Oh yeah.
I have never played one. I don't think many people have played one.
I didn't even really ever think about trying to play number one. You know what I mean? It's never even been a thought.
Yeah, I actually don't even really know what the story is for number one. I should probably research that and find out. But and apparently it was kind of a huge disaster. It didn't go over so well. I think one of my biggest pulls that really brought me into the series that made me like it so much was that it was really nostalgic in the sense of it felt like playing Shenmue again. And Shenmue was one of my all-time favorite games. And now I'm probably taking away another person's selection by talking about that and Yakuza.
I've actually never played Shenmue.
I don't know. Maybe now it would suck. Maybe now it'd be really
Oh,
annoying.
well, I'm a retro gamer, so like, fucking, I'll play anything, man. Doesn't matter how old it is.
I guess the best thing is if you like games with a really deep story. That's what's good about Shenmue. But if you're one of those people that like hates to investigate stuff in games or hates to read dialogue or listen
Scott,
to
you're talking to the guy who's currently working on making sure the cat in Divinity can be with his cat that he loves, but he lost his collar, so he's too poor. Okay?
so you're like Mr. Sidequest.
Too
Dude,
invested, man. That's
dude,
not an object for me.
Kyle,
I fucking
that
gotta be
quest-
invested.
That quest is super long, just so you know.
I can't stop myself, dude. I haven't even left the first city because I gotta help this cat get his romance on.
So that's a big for me, and I guess this was kind of true when I was younger, but even more so now. I am really a story-based gamer. Like I really have to have a good story, and if I don't, then I can't get into the game. That tends to be why I'm not really too into fighting games. I'm not too into FPS shooter games. I'm more of a Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, kind of, yeah, and well, another game I'll mention in a little bit. I don't want to say it now because I want to use it for my next game. But how about you, Richard? What's your #1 favorite Japanese-based game?
Biohazard series. It really got me into after seeing like the whole George Romero's films. You know, I really got into the whole zombie thing, and then I discovered the glory that is Biohazard and started playing those games. And a lot of people hate the direction it took, but I think it took a much needed direction turn because I mean, you know,
Well,
you're not.
what do you mean direction?
Okay, so you first started off as a Biohazard first started off as I'm sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say before you continue, just so everybody knows, Biohazard in America is Resident Evil.
Yeah, my bad. But it started off as a horror game, and now it's a survival horror. It's classified as that.
Also,
It first started off being a horror game because you were just going up against, at first, an unknown creature, and then turned out to be zombies, and these slow walking, even though they're slow walking, they can gang up on you and bite you and tear at you limb from limb, but you know, eventually you had to branch off into a different direction with bioweapons, bioweapon creatures. And that's because, I mean, they can't really surprise you with the whole zombie thing anymore.
well, I don't think that I quite understand what you mean, though. I mean, to me, Biohazard's always been survival horror. It's the pinnacle of survival horror. It's what started the genre, and it's always been biological weaponry. You fought the hunters in the first one. You fought lickers. I mean, it's always been about biological weaponry. That's what made the zombies in the first place. So I don't understand what you mean by the turn that it took. Do you mean the turn that it took in Resident Evil 4, and Resident Evil 5, and Resident Evil 6?
Yeah, with the upgrade of the viruses. Like, yeah, it's always been about the bioweaponry. But that's one thing that a lot of people do forget is it has been about the bioweaponry. But
okay, well that's all I was curious about. I didn't quite
I guess
know
also
what you
it
meant.
made a really big change when it went from tank controls to like the controls that are just kind of more smooth.
Now, I like Resident Evil 4 a lot.
Me too, actually.
Number 5 was okay, but I never played number 6. I hear a lot of bad things.
6 is pretty boring.
I liked 6. I personally liked 6.
5 was really good for co-op. Like it felt like the first time where if you played with 2 players, it was really fun. If I will say, like, if you don't play with 2 players, the AI on that other character is pretty annoying. She uses up everything good right away, and just But sorry, go.
I had a really good co-op experience on 6.
I never got to play co-op on 6, so I can't comment on that. Maybe it was just me with the story, but like I couldn't get through it because I was just really bored with it. It's just like, now you're in this disaster, now you're in this disaster, now you're in. And I was just like, okay, what's the story? Like I don't get it. Like I don't know.
Why am I in this goddamn disaster, man?
Yeah. Why the fuck does Chris keep getting himself into this? Or Leon, actually, isn't it? Like, what the fuck is he still in this shit?
Leon,
yeah, it's Leon in number 6, yeah?
It's Leon, Chris, Jake, and
Who the fuck is Jake?
I would tell you, but it would spoil Resident Evil 6 so
I'm not
hard.
going to play Resident Evil
Anybody
6.
Well, for anyone who's watching.
Yeah, we'll hold out. We'll hold out for spoilers for our other viewers watching.
Come on, guys. The game's been out for like almost 2 years. If you haven't played it yet, you deserve it.
They're
We
probably
only
being smart.
we only do spoilers on stories as old as Shakespeare. Unless it's newer than that, then we're not going to spoil it for anybody. No, yeah. The whole I like. Actually, I played recently. I played all the way through 3DS version. I think it was called Revelations. Am I correct?
Wait, Revelations
Yes.
like the 3DS game?
Yeah, I actually played
I
all the
have
way
that.
through that, and I enjoyed that more than Part 6 on PS3. So I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like that game.
I never got to play Revelation. I'm still on the boat.
It takes a while to get going. Like, it takes a while for you to start to even get into the story because it starts out with just this stupid scanning, and you're just like, why am I scanning all this stuff? And it's one of those games. It's kind of like a book that becomes a good book once you've gotten like halfway through it. Which I don't know. Maybe that's actually a bad book, but that's the way I felt about the game. Like until I got about like halfway in it, then I finally started to be like, okay, I'm starting to really like these characters now, and I enjoy it. And the plot's not so convoluted that I can understand it. The only thing that's kind of weird is if you like watch all the movies and play all the games, you start to realize the story doesn't line up right. You're like, wait, what's going on here? This doesn't make sense.
So is
But
it worth buying?
yeah. I mean, I would say the best part about it is it maxes out everything the 3DS can do, like graphics-wise, movement-wise.
Gotcha.
You go from like at first you just think I'm gonna be just fucking running around and shooting a pistol, but you eventually get into like swimming and like all different types of stuff, driving vehicles. So
Really?
yeah. You just give it a chance though. That's my advice. Is
I have it. I just haven't played through it. I scanned the fucking beach, and
yeah,
that was it,
exactly.
man. I got back on the boat and was like, the fuck?
Yeah, and that was my exact. I played it for about 5 minutes, put it down, and was just like, what the fuck is this? I didn't touch it again until I beat almost every game I had, and I was like, well, still haven't played this, and I was kind of desperate, put it in, and I gave it enough chance that eventually I was like, oh wait, this starts to actually get good, like, and they finally get away from Umbrella Corp, they get into some kind of terrorist organization instead, which is pretty interesting. I don't know.
Right on.
Their own, to each their own, really. That's how I feel with Biohazard / Resident Evil.
I'll have to go pick it up. I just saw it today at a game store for like $10.
And it makes sense. It doesn't. I don't think it has a lot of replayability. I don't think there's like a lot you want to do again. All right, what else? Who do we got next? We got Kyle next. What do you played before that you really liked? Is from Japan doing?
This game right here. Tomodachi Dobochi no Mori, which in America is Animal Crossing New Leaf, the reiteration for 3DS.
But translated from Japanese means the animal's forest. Yeah.
Yes, Animal Forest.
Dobochi no Mori. Yeah, animal's forest.
Which is a lot of fun. I like them. It's essentially just a really simple life simulator. You live in a town. Your neighbors are all like animals. You can do stuff for them. You pay your mortgage, upgrade your house, decorate your rooms. It's a pretty simple game. It's really good for casual gaming. Like if you just want something you can kind of focus on and not like have to, there's no real end goal. It's just good to get away.
Well, there's no real end goal and there's no like having to stay super focused. You don't have to be hyper focused on it. You can kind of just lounge around and slowly get stuff done. And I think that's what I like the most about that game, is that it's not one where you have to like constantly have eyes on the screen.
And I mean, I have that on both my DSs, so that's how much I like it.
It's pretty good. All right.
So yeah, that's about it. That's it for me right now.
Jared, what about you? What would you say your favorite Japan-based game is?
Japan-based game?
It doesn't have to be current either. It can be like, years and years ago. It can be Dragon Quest IV, like the orange playing.
It'd have to be like the old Game Boy Dragon Ball Z games. I enjoyed those a lot. And that and Pokemon and Zelda were all what I was really playing. And I still do when I can get my hands on it. That's really what I use.
The series will be loved by anyone who ever enjoyed any handheld console by Nintendo. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much landmark stuff as far as handheld games are concerned. Cool, cool. All right, and we got oh, Bjorn's next. I was gonna say Dan. Bjorn, what do you got?
My favorite game that's Japanese based is a game from 2001 for the Dreamcast. It's called Ika, which is a shoot 'em up game. I'm a
What's the
big
name of the
sucker.
game?
Ikaruga.
Ikaruga. Okay.
I know that game.
And it's a real hardcore Japanese shoot 'em up game.
So
And,
Ika means squid. I don't know what Ruga means.
So Ikaruga kind of translates to like a grosbeak.
A boss beak?
Not a grosbeak. A Japanese grosbeak is it's a bird. It's a fin, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So
So it's a cross between the two?
something like that.
Interesting.
I don't really know. But yeah, that game is. I really like shoot 'em up games. That game and also side-scrolling shoot 'em ups like Gunstar Heroes.
Gunstar Heroes.
Yeah.
A great classic game.
But yeah, Ikaruga must be my favorite Japanese game.
That's awesome.
I've never finished it because it's freaking impossible.
It starts to get too hard.
Yeah. Even if you play a normal, it's just insane.
Oh, it becomes like R-Type or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. All right, Dan, what do you got for us?
I'm gonna go really cliche here, but I'd have to say hands down, Final Fantasy VII.
All right.
Only 7, not the series. Just
Not
7.
the series. Okay. Good call on that one. We don't want to talk about Final Hallway.
I have dedicated countless hours of my life to that game.
The hallway game?
The hallway game?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, everybody always calls Final Fantasy 13 Final Fantasy Hallway. It just feels like a hallway to me. I don't know. Like, I really was disappointed when I bought it. Maybe it's just me, but
Wait, which one? 7 or
13.
Oh, I haven't touched a Final Fantasy after 10.
Oh, okay. So you are talking about 7 when you say you're putting countless hours into it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like right now, I go through at least once a year religiously.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty hardcore. Those games are not short.
No, but still enjoyable.
Excellent. What is it that you like so much about the number 7 story?
You know, I'm not sure so much anymore. Like when I started playing it, I was a lot younger, of course. When did it come out? I think I was like 12 or 13. And at the time, I don't know, the story just drew me in just because I just played so many just fighters and stuff like that. I was never really into RPGs, so playing a game with a story finally was something completely new to me then. And I think what keeps me hooked on is just nostalgia now.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. That makes sense. I think that probably keeps a lot of us hooked on these games that we love so much.
Very true.
All right. I guess that's coming back to me. You know what? We'll go ahead and do one more round of this, and then we'll actually end it. Unfortunately, we had a lot of... I should say I had a lot of technical problems setting up the Google Hangouts today, so I take full blame. Sorry I didn't get a chance to ask anybody questions. I'm prepping up for our big party tonight for YouTube, so I'm way behind on everything, and I apologize to the audience if you are watching now. Okay, so for
YouTube's
my...
not even real.
Yeah, nothing's real anymore. Anyway, my favorite, and this goes back to actually DS, is probably a not very well-known game, Hotel Dusk. And there was a sequel to it called The Case of the Open Window. And it's a, once again, heavily story-based game in which you play a ex-detective who now works as a, I guess, janitorial service supply company seller. And he goes to this hotel where he's gonna have to sell some stuff in the nearby town, and starts to just like stir up a little bit of conversation with the other inhabitants of this kind of crazy, weird hotel. And a whole plot unfolds. Whereas if I get deep into it, I'll kind of ruin it. But it's a game I highly suggest if you are into heavily story-based games and kind of like puzzle slash story-based games too. A very excellent game. Obviously, completely, I'd say, the serious anime style that doesn't have the overly large eyes, but you still have those same angular chins and facial features and like the pointy, spiky hair and stuff. Obviously, the artist was big into that kind of stuff and heavily influenced by anime when they did this. And every character in the story is hand drawn, so it's pretty amazing looking. All right. Moving on to Richard, what do you got?
I don't think I have much else that anyone else hasn't said.
Okay. Okay. How about we just start to wrap it up now then? What does anybody else got?
This game right here.
What's that game?
Artificial Academy.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
I love Japanese porn games. They're always so innovative.
Oh my
It's
god.
Okay, we can talk about it.
Well, no, it's something that most other countries don't do.
Uh-huh.
And it's just interesting to see. And I mean, that goes not just from like straight porn, which is what this is, but to games like Love Plus, dating simulators, to games like No Surge, where you are communicating through a girl on another planet in a computer to help her revive her memory and learn why she's the only person left. You know, to visual novels. It's just interesting to see the vast variety of differences that Japan has.
It is. Well, it's just interesting, like, the level of social interaction type games they have. Like, that's what really amazes me.
Especially this one. This is the second game. It's called Artificial Academy 2, and it's the second game in the series. And they added a lot more. It's a lot more difficult to just, like, it's not just, like, point, click, and fuck anymore. That's what the first one was. They've added, like, they actually got to talk to the girls, and it's a lot harder.
I like that. Point, click, and fuck. Wow, it sounds like a really innovative style.
There are a lot of games like that, man.
We should just make one that's, like, really blunt like that. All right, yeah, no, I do agree with you, though. There is a lot of games from Japan that take on social aspects or even just points of view. Like, for example, what's the one game called? Mosquito Man? Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. You pretty much play a mosquito, go around biting people.
Yeah, you live in this family's house, and you gotta survive, and you're a mosquito, so you drink blood, so you gotta land on people and drink their blood and not get smashed.
That sounds interesting.
The whole house, like, the whole game took place in, like, this family's house.
It's pretty cool. I do have to add, though, I do love Japan-based fighting games. I don't know, that's just always been with me since I was, like, little. The Naruto, the Street Fighters, and all that stuff. And then recently I picked up Senran Kagura. I think that's how I said it. And that's pretty fun to play. It's kind of hard to do a little bit, but it's a good checkout for the DS, 2DS, 3DS.
New 3DS.
Oh, new 3DS. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about that right now. How do you guys feel about this new 3DS? Like, what's your...
I'm gonna send you money, and you're gonna buy me one.
You are gonna get one.
Yeah, and you know why?
Why is that?
You ever played this goddamn game right here?
What is it? What's it?
Monster Hunter.
Oh, Monster Hunter 4?
You know how goddamn hard it is to control the camera with the touch screen? Fuck that shit, man. This game is damn near impossible without an extra stick.
Yeah, but why don't you get the extension?
Oh, fuck the extension, man. Look. I have this one. This is my Japanese import, but it doesn't have an extra little nub. Look, it's missing. I need the little button that's gonna go right here.
All right, fair enough. So you feel that it's beneficial that they're coming out with something that allows for more controls and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that it doesn't just add that little stick. It's got 2 more back buttons as well. I think that it will be sort of a welcome change for some games. And of course, this isn't something necessary that everybody needs to buy. But if you're like me and you keep up on the most frequent technology, I mean, yeah, it's probably something you're going to pick up. At least if you import games like I do. That's essentially the majority of my gaming collection is imports. So
Okay.
to me, that I'm excited. I think it'll be interesting.
Okay, so you have positive reviews for, well, not reviews, I should say positive feelings for it. That's good. That's good. Okay. What about the rest of you guys? Everybody kind of excited about it, or any mixed feelings, or?
I'm
I-
indifferent.
Meh. I'm indifferent to it too. I
Okay.
mean, I
think
have
it'll-
a good working one, so.
Can you
Do you think
smoke
it'll
it?
come to the U.S.?
Yeah, I think it has no choice. I think it has to.
I think that if it does well, the problem with it is, all right. So the only problem I see with it is Nintendo in Japan is just really bad at marketing. All
I
right,
can
so
see
just
that.
labeling something new 3DS, I don't think is going to
No,
necessarily spell success.
But what about
Speaking-
New Love Plus?
I have a New Love Plus, but I need New Love Plus Plus. See,
What?
I have
Yeah,
New Love Plus.
I agree with Kyle on this. I don't know why they chose the name of New 3DS. You think they would have learned with Wii U, or everybody just thought Wii U was like a different type of Wii.
Yeah.
They didn't realize it was the next gen.
So I think there's potential for failure with that in mind.
Yeah, because I mean that was like people said like, oh well, in the States, you know, old people didn't realize that that's how. But even in Japan, people didn't realize that. Like parents were buying the wrong games, the wrong everything. Like they just didn't. They're like, what's this U mean? It doesn't make any sense. Like it was a problem here too. So I think their problem isn't just marketing. I think, and I love Nintendo. I'm not a hater on Nintendo. I
You're
really
looking-
wish.
I have 3DSs in front of me.
Yeah, I have. Just looking up here, I've got a 2DS and a 3DS sitting up here. So I'm obviously, you know, a pretty big fanboy of them. I don't understand why they never listen to anyone. A lot
I think
of people.
it's big corporate syndrome. Like they're huge. They make tons of money. Why do they got to listen to anybody?
Look, I have Scott's
Same thing.
DS.
But they don't make tons of money. They're
Not right now. They don't.
they're in
No.
the red right now, aren't they? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's their
yeah.
problem is.
Mhm.
So is Sony, I think, in Japan
Oh,
at least.
Sony's doing really bad. Yeah, pretty much only the console is keeping them afloat.
Fucking, but yeah, I mean, as far as Nintendo goes, I'm a huge fan. DS Lite here, 3DS LL. I have a 3DS somewhere. I got the Wii right there. A Super Nintendo down in my entertainment center. I mean, Nintendo all the way. GameCube in my closet.
Yeah, I mean they've had a bunch of great games, and they have a bunch. The best about them is they have a bunch of original stuff that is amazing. I mean, Pokemon, you know, and so many other things. Super Smash Brothers, and that's what I'm worried about is that we'll lose all those great titles if Nintendo goes under. Because if they go under, they take a lot of games with them, or those games have to like settle with
Well,
other.
You
Yeah.
won't have to worry about the games being lost because if a game company goes under, the IPs end up going with it, and what they do to bail out the company is they sell the IPs off, so another game company will get the rights to it, and they will make sequels to it. So you know, Super Smash Brothers is extremely popular, and that thing right there is a money cow. So someone is going to get their hands on it. You want to hope that a good company, like I don't know, Insomniac Games, would just go and grab it and make the next Super Smash.
I
That's
want
a
to
good
see
company,
LJB come back and make it.
It's one of these things. It's like you say Insomniac Games. Yeah, they're a good company, but are they a good company for that kind of game?
That's what that's where my worry comes in. Like, you know, some of these people take it over and they're just like, well, we have our own imagination for it, and it's a bad imagination. It's
Yeah,
not
look at
good.
Silent Hill. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so Silent Hill, when it was taken over by American companies. Sorry, America, you don't know how to do Japanese horror.
But you know what? It's coming back to Japan, and I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. I think what we might see here is we're either going to see a huge catastrophic failure, or we're going to see it turn into a perfect amalgamation of Japanese and American influence, because I think that can work well together if it's done right. But in the past,
I think
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, I think this is going to be good.
Yeah, I have high hopes for it.
I don't have too much doubt yet.
Yeah.
Especially after playing PT, if they're able to do something with a game that is just essentially a giant loop that just terrifies you, imagine what they can do with an entire game.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that'll be interesting, I think. And then we've got like other horror games to look forward to coming from Japanese creators. We've got the original creator of Biohazard releasing his new game, The Evil Within, next month.
Yeah,
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, it looks good. It could be. Yeah.
I think that'll be cool. I'm going to play it. It looks like it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, if nothing else, it looks like it has potential. I'll give it that. My biggest worry always these days is that it becomes too much action.
I don't think that's what this one's going for, though.
Yeah. I think you're right.
At least the previews I've seen, I've barely seen any like actual combat.
Yeah. But that's how we feel about those and the new 3D, the new 3DS, the new 3DS that's coming.
3DS, yeah.
New 3DS. That's how we feel about that. Later in the week here, Rich and I are actually going to get into talking about Gamergate, or the conspiracy that's going on. We're kind of late to arrive at the subject, but we feel like we want to talk about it a little bit nonetheless. So if you guys tune in later this week, we'll be having a discussion about that, talking a little bit about the industry and the incestual relationship between journalism and game reviews and video game makers, which is
incest is Wincest.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic. It really is. So I'm going to go ahead and end it out here, guys. I'm so sorry for starting the show late. Like I said, once again, completely my fault. And tonight, if you didn't already know, we're having our Osaka YouTube Tennoji meetup at Tin's Hall. It will start at 6 p.m. If you didn't already know, now you know. And you do not need to be a YouTuber to show up. Please feel free to just show up no matter what your relationship is with YouTube or YouTubers or J-bloggers. We just like having people show up. I will be there. Grandol Nyan will be there.
I'll be there. I got this.
Kyle will materialize. We're actually getting a 3D printer. And
I'm going to be all like Tupac up in this bitch.
Eventually, one day, all of us will be there. That will happen eventually. But until that day, we'll set our foot grand on Nyan.
There's enough grand for everyone.
There you go. That's the positive way to look at it. All right, guys. If you had any questions, comments, or liked what you saw today, please like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, we are the UnresTEAM, and we will talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.